This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome to the show, Cinephiles and Cenobites. It has been a hot minute since you heard us last, so if you're a regular listener, welcome back. To you new ones, welcome to Tragic Kingdom.
So what, man? Are we meeting Texas today? You two have been hanging out a lot lately.
Yeah, man, what gives? She must be a keeper the way you've been acting as of late. Annika has some choice words for her.
Yeah, more like just one word.
What's the word?
The bird's the word.
Bird is the word.
No, tell me, what did she say?
Witch.
But with a B or C, or that's it?
Yeah,
She's just acting that way because Texas can beat down Jeremy.
that's true.
He probably is a little weak, little skinny looking. Although he's supposed to be more powerful than both of you guys. He's an Aramite.
Well, Annika ain't gonna ruin my day. Let's get on with it. Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
I'm Mox at villainous_kind on Twitter and whatever. So it's official. The Raiders are moving to Vegas in 2 years.
You know, what
Dark
happens in
days.
Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh God, I hope they leave Vegas after 1 year and go back to Oakland. Fucking shitty county of Oakland.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you, listeners, for stopping by. I'm Anofre, and welcome to the show.
You're super pumped.
First on the list,
Well, we'll be talking on A Tale as Old as Time.
Song as old as rhyme.
Beauty and the Beast.
that movie's still in theaters.
Yep.
And it's still a blast, the second and third time round.
Yeah, shout out to Emma Watson and Dan Stevens.
Then Stevens.
Well, I did take Texas to see it.
Oh yeah, like on a date.
Yeah, it was magical.
Yeah, I could see some kind of parallel.
But I was born this way, asshole.
You know, should have went to see Shrek.
Slashtag configuration.
Welcome to the Slashtag configuration. We'll be talking on the new live-action Disney Beauty and the Beast, starring Emma Watson. We have Dan Stevens,
Ben Stevens, the
Ewan-
guest.
Ewan McGregor,
Dunson Anthony.
Ian McKellen, Emma Thompson.
Thompson.
There's also
Daniel Tucci.
Luke Evans,
Luke Evans.
Josh
Gad.
Kevin Kline.
Oh, that's right.
There's a
Kind of
Long-
a ensemble. Yeah.
nice grade A actors.
Yep.
So yeah, Beauty and the Beast. This movie has been a long time coming. The first, I guess, in what happens to be maybe a reboot of past Disney animated movies turned live action.
This one.
Yeah.
I think, it's setting up their schedule, right? They're trying to launch Mulan and a lot of other stupid live action.
This one was directed by Bill Condon.
Yeah, Bill Condom. I know he's done other stuff because I remember that name because it sounds so close to Condom.
All right. This movie is a tale as old as time.
Song as old as rhyme.
Yeah, and so basically, you got spoiled brat Dan Stevens, cold-hearted, shuns an old beggar woman from his house.
I don't know if he's so much cold-hearted, but yeah, he shouldn't. I mean, we're not going to give him the whole play-by-play, right? But this is how it starts. He's having his gala or whatever the fuck, right? A dancing ball, and then this old hag wanders in like Jesus, wanting to like
Hag beggar woman.
Yeah, okay, well she's haggish, but she wanders in wanting to like what, stay the night or a couple bucks or what was her deal?
Well, in this one, she wanted a place to stay. Yeah, from.
I mean, he's got 80,000 rooms.
Yeah.
Did he have to be such a prick and just be like, yeah, fine, but just take the other servants' entrance, get out of my gala.
Right. So she turns into an enchanted fairy.
Beautiful fairy princess.
Yeah, and
Fucks his shit up.
curses him and his entire castle.
A plague on the entire house and the village, right?
Yeah.
That's not from the animated, right? They don't
film.
mention that the village was. Cursed,
Yeah,
right?
well, not cursed, but yeah, they pretty much wiped their minds of
In
like,
this
the
one,
castle.
but that's
Yeah.
not from the cartoon, right?
No.
Because I didn't remember that, but yeah, apparently.
And he has until his 21st birthday, but I don't think they mention.
They don't
in
mention
this.
that because Dan Stevens is obviously way older than 21.
And yeah,
He just
so-
has until the last petal on the rose she gives him, which I think she plucked from his own garden. So that's actually kind of stingy. Like, if you go to someone's house, it's always good protocol to bring a gift, but bringing a gift of their own shit, it's a little bit tasteless.
So yeah, and the curse is he's a beast now, and he has to find someone, fall in love, and earn her love in return. Earn. The keyword earn. Yes.
But who could ever learn to love a beast?
No, they say it like this. Who could ever learn to love a beast?
Okay, they didn't say it like
They
that.
said it like that. It went up. I was like, what?
No, it was like,
No.
I was like, but who could ever learn to love a beast?
A beast. She went up. They said it differently.
The narrator,
Yes, it
lady?
was very different.
Beast as in question, like,
Yeah,
or like,
there's
like what kind of
Yeah,
question, as
yeah.
opposed to just question.
Yeah.
No, it was.
it's-
But who could ever learn to love a
beast?
beast? No,
It
no,
went
no,
like
it was
that.
just a beast.
Who was narrator? It was Emma Thompson, right?
No,
Narrator?
I don't think so.
Wasn't her?
No, if it was, she wasn't doing the Mrs. Potter voice.
Oh, okay.
It could have been, but I'm telling you,
It was awkward, but
like,
then it went
like
straight.
attitude, like
Yeah, like
chicken head.
well,
Who could ever learn to love?
there's more diverse cast now, so
There
you know,
is lots of blacks.
It was a black librarian. They kicked out the old white geezer and put in a black stallion.
Yeah,
of a
actually, he
librarian.
was like
But
BBC
he had a wig
type
on.
of
He was a
deal.
white wig on.
Like, in fact, I don't think Belle was going there for the books. If you know what I mean.
yeah, he had like 10 books and only one copy of Shakespeare, Romeo. He had to probably had a couple more other Shakespeare stuff in there too. So
Well, the other highlights, the Verona, or not the what the one he's selling shit in Italy, Venice, something. Salesman of Venice, or
another Shakespeare
Yeah.
play. Oh, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. He has a couple. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the
They
extent
they
of his
scale-
variety in there.
They scaled down the extent of the little town library.
But this movie, I will give it best movie of the year
So far.
so far.
For him, mine is still Logan, but this is a close number 2.
Like this one is amazing. It is a perfect, almost perfect remake of the original.
It stays pretty close.
Yeah, very close. Even delivery, execution of lines.
A lot of the original dialogue is
Yeah.
in there, and a lot of the original scenes and settings.
And they jump into, so right after that prologue,
It goes right into
right
the
into
little town.
bell. Yeah, that bell number. And it was a very good number for sure.
Yeah, it's alright. The theatrical version of the singing. If you've never heard it before, maybe you'll like it. But I still have the one from the '90s droning on in my ear, and I like that one better. The songs, the live action was great.
But this really does look like a little town. It looked like a smaller, much smaller town or village than the one in the cartoon.
in the cartoon, yeah,
Like, this
is
was very, like-
there's like 6 houses, 1 town square, 1 little pond,
Yeah,
and 1 tavern.
and the way they wash their clothes, they spin it in a barrel.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
but I
but,
like how she jerry rig invents a way to get the mule to do it.
Yeah, and like they totally trashed their clothes for teaching a girl to read.
I know. This asshole, I don't know who he is, if he's a town constable or mayor or whatever. He comes in and he's, why are you teaching that little girl to read? 1 female reads. Isn't that enough? I'm like, I guess that says a lot about the times. No wonder she hates every man in the village. They're all fucking idiots and sexist fucks.
All right, so let's break it down. So the differences. So we get a little bit more background on some key characters
On both of the
that
Bell and
kind
the
of justify,
Beast.
their current state of
Where they are, yeah.
and like the beast, and they still didn't give him a name. I'll just call him Dan Stevens right now. The
Yeah,
Beast.
Beast has no name.
Yeah.
His name is actually Beast, but we also feel he's French, so his name could probably be like Jean-Pierre or some shit.
Jean-Pierre, yeah. We'll just call him Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre.
Okay, but
And her father, Maurice, he's not an inventor, he's an artist.
oh, okay, I didn't catch on to that. Yeah, he is an inventor, and then so I guess that would give him to include France, because then they say France in the original, but then we get a little bit more in this one, and to connect the background story on Belle and her mother, which was not mentioned in the original.
Too dark
Yeah,
for the original.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
backstory of the monk. Should we say it? I mean, it's not like a spoiler, right?
no, we'll tell you everything in this one.
If you haven't seen it and you haven't spent 170 million on this movie this weekend, then you know what? You have no soul.
But Belle's mom
John
died of the
Layton.
plague in France or in Paris.
Yeah, in Paris. Yeah, in a little windmill
I think
place.
that
Like,
was their
I
only.
thought only animated mice live in windmill towers.
Well, but we get backstory on her, and we get backstory on Beast,
Beast.
which is the
His-
mother died,
Yeah,
and the dad kind of just
made him cruel.
pretty much.
Yeah,
And-
probably tortured him and made him just a shithead. But he's still, at his core, he was that
Yeah.
sweet little boy.
But we also find out he is educated.
Well, we knew you can infer that from the original. He's a prince. He's had a costly education.
Well, I mean, he's a spoiled bratty guy. I'll think, okay, no, he didn't. They didn't put him through school, or I mean, he would have learned something. I think by reading all those books.
No, you don't go to school as a prince. School comes to you, so you get to act however you want, and your tutors just gotta still try and deal with you and train you. But yeah, they show more of his education in this, at least as far as being well read.
And as far as more on the music, we got new tunes in this one.
Like what, couple 4 or 5
I think-
at least?
I'll say 3.
That's all.
Yeah.
You gotta count
Oh,
Kevin
the little-
Klein's like 15-second singing
Okay,
when
okay.
they introduce him.
There's
I'm an
there's actually
artist
quite
or
a bit.
something. Drawing a pair.
We get more from the Beast though. That's why. So I think singing.
Yeah, the Beast has at least couple numbers.
A
Yeah,
couple numbers in
he
this
has one where he's like rock opera-ish Meatloaf. After he sends her back to her father, save her father in town, he's like alone and he's like running all through the corridors in the fucking castle.
You'll never leave me, even though I can't see you anymore.
Yep.
Like, oh.
Doing like this whole "woe is me" ballad, which is pathetic, but oh well.
And they keep his voice because in the original, if a beast did sing like they did in Something There, it was the human voice.
This again.
Yes.
I mean, Ono's one ear is probably more sensitive than mine, but for me, you could barely recognize the difference between the two singing. I feel
Really?
I didn't hear his growly,
In
bass one in the new one. Yeah, it didn't
Oh.
didn't come across to me as
Well,
much as you.
It's no, because what I'm saying is, so yeah, the regular beast voice, and then when he sang during Something There, there's a human voice.
Yeah,
right?
it's much
So-
higher, no bass voice in the cartoon, but to me, I'm saying the shade of in the new one, it didn't seem full blown beastly.
Oh no,
It still
like,
seemed a little pussified.
but they it's like his beast voice in singing mode.
Yeah, he talks at like a baritone maybe, but he's
but-
singing at a tenor.
I think the animated one though, the beast is more louder and more like actually terrifying.
The voice in the
Yeah.
cartoon is way more terrifying.
Yeah, and then this one, but I think it was. I didn't think they wanted him to be too aggressive. Otherwise, I think
You know why? Because it's live action.
it's live action.
An
and you-
actual scary ass
you-
monster with a monster voice would have
Yeah.
been too much for kids. There are a
you
bunch
might
of
not
kids in the audience.
like get on his side, and then
He's not that terrible though. He screams and shit, but he
Yeah.
ain't like suckling the bones of children's and shit.
he didn't do the then go ahead and starve.
That was a good one. I thought that
She
was
doesn't
better
eat
in
with
the
me.
cartoon. Yep.
She doesn't eat at all.
Yeah, he's like talking like this, and it builds it. He's just, and then everything shakes.
So and then Something There, that was the best part of the movie.
In
I
this
was
movie?
waiting for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting that too. I heard you
but-
sigh like a girl. You're like,
I was like, oh.
but I got
Emma
stoked for
Watson
it too.
was perfect
Yeah.
in that song.
Except she tried to make it her own and fucked up the original phrasing, but that's fine. That's
You
fine.
think so? It's a reimagined retelling of a tale as old as time. But
Don't reimagine shit. Just do it, Hermione.
but they actually like I pointed out like they were mouthing the words, whereas in the original it's
Yeah,
all like,
I've seen that movie a million times, and that didn't stick out
Yeah.
for me.
like they're thinking it, and so like she glanced this way
It feels more montage than musical
Yeah.
in the
in the original,
animation.
but it's actually more effective because they're these are new feelings, and they're kind of thinking to themselves.
Maybe that's why I didn't think the original is gay, because I hate musicals. But mostly because who the fuck is singing and dancing in a hall? Like, yeah, just be walking around doing your day and then have some music going on.
That's the thing about
Right?
musicals. It just happens. But I think when you see someone singing, then that's
That
like
gays it
totally-
up beyond, yeah.
Well, no, it actually doesn't work
It
because
doesn't,
kind of-
because it gays it up.
the magical part of musicals is ineffective that way. They have to be thinking these things.
Maybe they did too much magic, because this one, not only does he have the mirror that you can see anybody on the wall, but he can actually teleport you,
You
in
can
a
teleport
book.
in this one.
He has an atlas that you just got to
It's a magical atlas.
Think with your brain and feel with your heart, and now you're in Plague Paris.
and where you want to be. So yeah, so we get this now. This subplot. Okay, my dad didn't tell me anything about mom.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Beast will give me that. Well, now fill that hole,
Whoa, that's what she said.
that void. Fill that void.
Come on, keep it G-rated.
Okay.
PG at max, guys.
And yeah, they totally
Fill that hole.
teleported to
Like full-blown
Paris.
teleport.
Yeah.
Not just like looking glass window kind of deal. They
Yeah.
actually can grab and
Grab
take
things.
objects back to their timeline.
Totally did, and that was the most magical part of this film, was that he gave her the
Yep.
gift
Of finding out
Oh.
what happened.
of yes.
Getting closure.
That was kind of like My Girl 2 right there. That was a My Girl 2
Oh, the
moment.
more I think on it, the more like, why not just tell your daughter your mom died from plague? What's the big secret? Like, she died from plague, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's like she had a heart attack, or
well,
she died
no,
of natural causes, or you know?
because I think the thing was he was protecting her. He didn't want her to think that he just abandoned her, right? Because there's pretty much nothing he could do, and he didn't want to stick around and get Belle all sick. So I
Right,
think
the
that's
mom
what it-
told him to leave, but I'm saying, why didn't he tell Bella? Like,
Yeah. Wow.
or Belle. Oh, Bella. Twilight.
this is
Beast
Juanita,
is actually a
Juanita and the
vampire.
Beast. This is Juanita and the Beast.
Is that a thing?
I
Because I
don't
feel like Between the Beast is such an overtold story.
Okay. But the music was excellent. The new numbers, very...
Yeah.
Very good.
If you lean into it a bit, they grow
Yeah.
on you.
The difference is, something more was a little bit different. Emma Watson, good spin on that one.
You
And
gotta take
then-
everything he
oh.
says about Emma Watson with a grain of salt. He's like totally in love with her.
The part we've been waiting for, the dance.
Yeah, the
and the
ballroom
number.
dance. Yeah, it was a little more epic in the cartoon.
It was, but this one was more, again, magical. Very magical with the lights, the light
The
action.
lighting was superb.
Oh
They're
my
gonna
God.
win a fucking
They have to be nominated just for that scene
production
alone.
design and fucking cinematography, guarantee.
I should point out though, Beauty and the Beast, 1991, first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture.
Are you sure on that stat?
I guarantee.
What about
you-
Fantasia?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing
Cool.
close.
That
I
was
said
back
right
before
now.
animated feature was its own category.
Before, yeah. But see, that's why Beauty and the Beast is so special. It was nominated for Best Picture.
In a time.
animated. Yes.
In a world where there's no category just for animation,
And
one
then
film.
The same year, Double Impact came out.
Okay, we're talking Oscars,
Yeah.
and then we go to Double Impact. Really, that's where
It's
A
one of
goes
his
to B.
best. But this one,
Earlier
whew,
conversation.
this
Yeah.
totally took my breath away. Like the dance scene. Oh my god! I was like, "Oh, Beast, get out of here! Let me step in."
Believe in
Oh
friends.
my god! And then Emma Thompson took it away. She did great on that number.
Emma Thompson's great in everything, though.
And then we get to so we got to point out the whole LeFou.
We don't have to, but I feel like you want to.
Okay, so he's the first gay character in Disney movies. First one, they said, I think. I only know he's gay because they said he's gay. But if you watch the movie alone,
Honestly, I thought Prince Eric was pretty gay.
Prince Eric, but it's very ambiguous, his action. Because if you're gonna define a character's orientation based on actions alone, he lays it on pretty thick in this one.
He does. I mean, I guess ambiguous that way because they
But
don't
it's-
openly say it, but he's very flamboyant.
Very flamboyant, but he doesn't say that he's
That I'm
into
gay?
Gaston. Yeah,
Well, you can tell he's totally in love with Gaston.
I mean, again, like this. I don't think so. And there's that part where he says, "Is it too much?" Yeah, okay. Like they
That's
won't-
the part you think.
because then they're saying they're a subtle moment, and there are many.
There are many, like I was
subtle
telling you.
moments,
Yeah. I mean,
And it's
there are a lot of parts where you could be, you know, you could pull from it that he's gay.
and then it's again at the end where they're all dancing. So now, LeFou lost all feelings for Gaston after he left them, right? And now at the end, and then during the fight, he's like, I'm not with him anymore. I'm on your side.
But yeah, at the end, he's dancing with some hot chick.
He's dancing with a woman, and then he's dancing. They switch partners, and now he's dancing with a guy. And so it's still up in the air. I think.
Fluid sexuality. Maybe he's bisexual.
No, he's not. They say he's gay though.
Well, they say a lot of things, but
Yeah,
you
but
know.
see, I think if you didn't say anything, if I didn't read anything up on that,
I still would have thought he's pretty effeminate.
like I would still think he's just a hype man. Still, he's still his hype man.
An effeminate hype man.
But I mean, so either the character has to say it, or
I thought he did a good job when he sang the
the
LeFou
Gaston
parts.
number. Oh,
Yeah, the Gaston number.
Yeah.
Josh Gad really sounded like the original guy who sang LeFou.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaston. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good number. Yeah, and then
Actually, I think that's the only number I felt that was as good or better than the original.
really
The Gaston one. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was really a good one.
I think it all it's kind of like when a band does a new version of a past song, so you like both versions and you appreciate both. So I'm not saying this one is better, but I like the little differences, and
I actually
appreciate
jammed the old soundtrack like in my personal life. I jam it when I'm doing stuff. I would not with this one.
that. Really.
Yeah.
Wow. See, because
I didn't hate it. I thought it was good,
Yeah, yeah.
but
for
it
sure.
doesn't strike. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't hit any chords like the old one does. Like, you know, I could be doing whatever I do and something there would come on and like that just that
There's
always
something
gets
there.
me. Yeah.
Okay. And almost kind. Right. Okay.
But he was mean. He was coarse and
And-
unrefined.
And I want to point out Lumiere.
Yeah. The
Ewan
candelabra.
Ewan McGregor as a French dude.
Is this an overly thick, unnecessarily French accent?
But,
It was like every time they do an Italian accent, and it's like, you know,
oh yeah, right. Yo, Tony.
yeah.
Or,
I'm going in the gun. Like, not every Italian speaks that way.
but he did a good job. I was wondering if we were gonna actually see the actors.
I think
Like-
because they're big
Yeah.
names, they had to show them.
Right. Like it was gonna be like someone different. Like, oh man, can't do that. But I'm glad I
Pulling
got
a
to
Darth
see
Vader.
Right.
They voice it, and then we show just, oh look,
someone else.
old white dude.
But Ian McKellen, yeah, and Ewan McGregor, they're dope as Cogsworth and Lumiere. But no baroque jokes.
Ha ha! This house is going baroque.
Right.
But it also felt the dynamic was different in this one. It feels like Lumiere was actually the higher ranking. Like I feel like he was the butler of the house versus Cogsworth, who is maybe only the valet or valet.
yeah.
Downtown Abbey, son.
Oh, and when in this one the pedal falls down and everyone like we
Yeah,
get a
that was a good
taste-
one. Yeah, we get a taste of what would happen. They added consequences in this one.
And it was dark.
It was pretty
I
dark.
was
Like everyone who was stuck as furniture or whatever, they just turned to actual furniture and wither away. And now the beast is stuck by
And-
himself as a monster
right.
with no one.
And Mrs. Potts was like, Chip, where are you?
And Chip was like falling, and then the coat hanger, which was pretty boss in the cartoon. It's still boss in this
right.
version.
And then like Cogsworth is like his final words, and like Lumiere, it is my honor. Or it's like, what? Oh my god! And it was really dark for like a moment. It's like, oh, and so they add this one to the movie too, which is new. The connection with the staff at the castle and the village. So like
Yeah.
Mr. Potts,
Yeah, Mr. Potts.
Cogsworth's wife. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all villagers.
And so yeah, you think like, oh yeah, this is their day job. They go home to the village.
I think they needed to do that because they incorporated the village got enchanted as well or cursed.
they wiped their minds, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
they
yeah.
erased their minds.
They need,
Okay.
you know, they needed that tie-in, I think, story-wise. But yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, you're right. and they foreshadow it, or maybe not even a foreshadow. It's less subtle than a foreshadow, but every time a petal falls, we see the castle getting more decrepit. We see the characters feeling themselves changing more and more, or less human.
Yes. Like he feels more metallic.
Yeah.
He's getting like, oh my god.
That's what she said.
Oh,
No one fucks like Gaston. No one.
expectorating.
Yeah, is that a thing? Does that mean good at spitting?
No,
Expectorate?
expectorate is just another word for spitting.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean good at spitting. It just means I
spitting.
expectorate.
I expectorate on your grave.
You could say that too. Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, so they kind of changed that one too, and yeah, it's just a full upgrade. It's very different. It's not the good thing. I think
Upgrade is a little strong. Update. I will feel comfortable with personally. Update.
Okay. Update. Yes, I feel that way too. So I give this movie a very
hard go watch CC.
I love that movie.
It was sure amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again.
Aren't you gonna buy it?
Yep.
That and Logan, 2 favorite movies this year. I think we'll dedicate a future Cinebite when the movie gets when after you buy it. Are you gonna get it on Blu-ray or 4K Ultra or whatever the fuck?
I can't get that far. I'm just gonna stick it to Blu-ray.
Like, what the fuck is with 4K Ultra? Is that like, do you need a 4K TV to?
I don't think so. Like,
And can you play it in a regular, or you gotta buy like a 4K Ultra player?
I mean, like, yeah, you gotta get a whole new system.
Stop changing formats, motherfuckers. Didn't we just go through this with HD DVD or some shit? The red DVDs.
Right. Yeah.
The one only Xbox could play it. Like.
Yeah. But Blu-ray is so much better than DVD now.
Fuck yeah, and it's just a cooler looking brand. They make everything blue. But yeah, I think we should definitely when the movie gets released, we should do a Cenobite.
Sounds like a plan. You can introduce Texas then, Schrody.
I'll have to ask her first. What are you two recommending?
Well, we'll have to wait for the Blu-ray to be released. Then we'll set up a meet date. Meet cute.
It'll be a casual attire or formal casual if you'd like.
I meant for kicking and streaming, dipshits.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be talking on Freakish, a Hulu original series.
Freakish. That reminds me of that song. You know what song? Freakish says, "Here I am, don't know how to say this."
Silverchair?
No, it's more like a kind of punk band. No, anyway. I think they do that one, cute without the E, cut from the theme band.
Oh, that guys? Those guys?
Saves the Day.
Cute. It saves. Oh, yes.
Is that a band? Saves the Day?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so back to what we're doing. Is that freakish thing about people being bullied?
No, it's more like The Walking Dead meets The Breakfast Club.
Why would that? Oh, because they're freaks and they get bullied? Okay.
That sounds terrible. What you got, Mox?
I got the Ultimate Beastmaster.
I love the original. One of the best fantasy flicks ever.
No, this is Oh, you meant that Beastmaster. No, this is like American Gladiator meets Ninja Warrior.
That sounds terrible. This is going to be a terrible kicking and streaming. Kicking and streaming.
All right, for this kicking and streaming, my recommendation is a Hulu original titled Freakish. The show debuted in October of 2016, featuring 10 episodes. It's a horror show about zombies. So I thought it was going to be about sickness, but these sick people end up eating other people and thus infecting them. But this isolated group of survivors are high school students. So the show begins on a Saturday, surprisingly. There are a lot of students on campus on a Saturday. Athletes show up for basketball practice, cheerleaders cheering, student council prepping events, and kids showing up for detention. It's a small town, so with the majority of the kids' parents working at a nearby chemical plant, like The Simpsons maybe. Anyway, on this day, the plant explodes, wiping out a good chunk of the town. Now, there's a disaster protocol set in the event that an incident such as this occurs, so the students take shelter in the school. Now, it turns out only one authority figure is on campus, the coach of the basketball team. And he could be the AD as well, who knows. But a lot of the kids on campus are scared for their families, and a lot of them take off. Bad idea, as now the whole town seems to be engulfed in some kind of toxic fog. The remaining students and coach stay at the school. Communications are down and supplies are low. So now what do? The next 10 episodes are now about survival. So the first couple of episodes set up the main group of kids after breaking it down from freakish killings and whatnot. Now we have the Breakfast Club with infected cannibals, or MTV's version of Breakfast Club. We don't have a princess, but rather the jock's very sexually active girlfriend. And the jock is not a wrestler, but a star basketball player. And he's a diabetic without daddy issues. So
Emilio Estevez.
Right. So the brain is actually a brain, but a more obnoxious, arrogant brain who overly seeks power, but also secretly seeks truth. Oh, and not to mention, he seeks the princess as well.
Guarantee.
Yeah, he definitely has a thing for the princess.
We all
So,
do.
yeah. We have another brain too, but she's also a criminal. The other criminal type of the group is actually the muscle of the group, and surprisingly, the more reasonable one of the group. So those are two different people now. And there's another brain, but more student council kind of brain. Like she might help lead the group, but she's actually a teen mom, secretly though. And surprise, well, I thought surprise, but she's like bestie with the sexual princess. So she's like brain princess basket case. Yeah. So odd group. And
Sincerely, the Breakfast Club.
and supposedly the main guy is the leader of the group, but he's a nobody. He's nothing. He'd be useless if he didn't always try to keep the peace within the group. And I think his significance in the overall story arc has more to do with his parents than himself. So by default, he's kind of important. But this group of kids make the best of the situation at hand. I'm thankful this ain't the 100. You know, these kids at least want to survive and not party at the first sign of no authority. They sweep the school for survivors of infected people, but do a terrible job at it because a freak will pop up every now and then. And these infected freaks are a bit more intelligent than your average zombie, just because they can crawl through air vents with intentions to find brains and or meat or whatever. The plot.
He's a rat.
Right. The plot features some twists that make for interesting and thrilling storylines. Some high-tension situations occur throughout the episodes, and some gory and bloody effects keep it all the more entertaining. It's a nice balance of zombie action and dramatic storytelling. I mean, what's the pregnant girl going to do in this scary new world? Mm-hmm. How is the diabetic going to live without insulin? No more adults, no more rules, and one full bottle of vodka found in the girl's locker. So we have underage drinking, but no smoking. The show is worth watching. What was that?
Vaping?
No vaping either. No. The show is worth watching because regardless of its trite and overly used zombie plot, there's originality to its core storyline and an ensemble of driven characters who are interesting and worth getting to know. But the story's still unfolding. No real help has arrived yet at the school, and we're left wondering if the explosion at the plant was intentional or not. I'm sticking around to find out, though, and you should too. Check out Freakish on Hulu.
Sounds pretty dope. I like how you equate it with the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club and zombies. And like, there's so drama. There's so much drama right now. I mean, God, teen mom, people in detention. The ones in detention are the ones who survived. No athletes. Only.
So is it like a big group? Because I'm imagining like in a school, it's kind of a big group, or are we talking Breakfast Club like 6 people and the teacher and the janitor?
It's a small handful. It breaks down after like the first 2.
They leave enough people to get murked like every so often.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like
cool.
there's Expendables, but then there's a lot more towards the end of the show. Yeah.
Did you not like the 100?
No, man. Oh, it was just so. It was so fake. That's the word. It was fake. Like you think you had like guys from like Battlestar Galactica, who kind of helped, like they were playing the scientists and stuff. But then once it's just left to the kids on Earth, it's like that first episode is just terrible. Like there's no like, oh, I feel land sickness. It's my first time on Earth. I've only read about this in books.
So it's like college. Then it's like nobody's here. Let's get fucked up.
It was more like high school. At least in college, you have the good kids who want to kind of become successful at least. But in high school,
did everybody go buck loose?
Like everybody did. Like
I kind of forgot, but
I think the majority was buck loose.
And there was that one girl who like ran into the fake ass Dothrakis, right?
I didn't get past episode 1.
Okay. You didn't give it a fair shake.
I didn't-
Anyway, but
No fair shot. That was a terrible pilot. How did that pass, man?
most pilots are. Well, okay. Yeah, I was on the fence about Freakish, so I might check that out. So for my kicking and streaming pick, I have the Ultimate Beastmaster. Created by David Broom, who brought us such reality heavyweights as The Biggest Loser and Strong. The idea for the show came to him in traffic. He thought, what if I could bring Super Mario Bros. To life? And from that, the Ultimate Beastmaster was born. Executive produced by Sylvester Stallone for the American broadcast and hosted by Terry Crews and Carissa Thompson of GSN and Fox Sports News, 108 world-class athletes from 6 countries, Mexico, Brazil, Germany, Japan, South Korea, and of course the US, attempt to navigate a monstrous obstacle course in the shape of a literal beast. It's 600 feet long and 85 feet high. The course is divided into 4 parts, each of which taking place at different sections of the beast's anatomy. From there, based on points accrued, contestants are eliminated through the rounds until only 2 are left, at which point they begin an 85-foot vertical climb with no traction and very small, very shallow grooves. Set over the course of 10 episodes, each episode's winner moves on to the finale in which they compete to see who the ultimate Beastmaster is. When I first put this on, I had no idea what it was, so based on the title, I thought it was a Netflix reimagining of the Beastmaster movie, the one with Mark Singer and the 2 rodents, but it was not that. This shit is like Ninja Warrior, but with less Japanese foolery. I have no idea which contest is harder because contestants wash out easily on both, and I personally would not be able to negotiate the first obstacle, which is walking upward on horizontal poles spaced about 4 to 5 feet from each other, and then running up a slick metallic surface at a 45-degree angle. The show is kind of cool because it's shot from the point of view of 6 different countries, each with 18 contestants and 2 commentators of their own. Based in what Netflix region you are, you get the show from that point of view. I usually don't watch athletic competitions, and I never watch reality TV. I'm saving that for when I become a day-drinking, stay-at-home mom. But the action is top-notch, as well as the tension, emotion, and swell of pride you get seeing what human beings can accomplish. There's also a nice bit of douchery if you're the kind of person that relishes watching fails. There are a ton of those. Also, there are a few female contestants too, but they all suck, and I'm hoping if this goes to season 2, they get better female talent because this was just pathetic. I know there's got to be better suited lady athletes in our country and the world. There was also an ex-NFL player, one who has a Super Bowl ring, and he fucking sucks super bad. He couldn't get past the very first obstacle, which made me kind of feel good because now I have something in common with a world-class top-level athlete. I mean, I still have more in common with the pathetic, creepy guy at Starbucks with his laptop acting like he's working on his screenplay. But at least now I have something in common with someone cool. I also hope they involve more countries next time around too. Only 6 seem kind of small, but cool for a first push. Ninja Warrior is cool, but it feels more like a hyped up Spartan race or Warrior Dash, which is basically Built Dude's Comic-Con. So for now, the Ultimate Beastmaster remains legit and is a definite Yo Watch CC. Check it out, it's on Netflix.
Pass and pass.
You're not even gonna give him a chance? Come on, Breakfast Club with zombies. That's kind of what it reminds me of too, like from the preview.
Right. But I mean, I can't defend Beastmaster though. I'd rather watch American Gladiators.
What? That show is so... Ugh, that's gay. That's played out gay.
Save it for after the show, okay? What's up next?
Alright. I'll be reviewing Moonlight.
The best picture of this year?
Well, I mean, it won the award.
Right. But I haven't seen it. Is it any good? I mean, I didn't even see the trailer for it yet either. I have no clue what
Really?
it's about.
Not even the trailer?
Nope. I have no idea what this movie's about.
Well, I mean, I'll get into it in this segment.
Secular insanity.
For episode 14, Secular Insanity, I have the film Moonlight. The Oscar award-winning film Moonlight. Directed by Barry Jenkins, written by Barry Jenkins, based on a story by Terrell Alvin McCraney. Starring Mahershala Ali, Janelle Monáe, Naomi Harris, Ashton Sanders, Trevante Rhodes, and Alex Hibbert. Spanning the life of a young black man from the Miami mean streets and chronicled in 3 parts, Sharon comes to terms with his sexuality and life choices. The story begins with Sharon, introduced to us via title card as Little. He's already being bullied by neighborhood ne'er-do-wells. He meets a neighborhood drug dealer who takes him under his wing. There's a really powerful scene where the young Little asks his mentor Juan, played boss ass by Mahershala Ali, what a faggot is, and if he, Little, is a faggot. Admittedly, I say the word fag and faggot often, without the hateful malice that this word connotes, but that's the point. This is a hateful word, and the scene conveys the effects of loose-lipped hate, without milking the emotion, and it made me feel shame, honestly, for using that word so freely. Now, the second act shows us a teenage Chiron, whose identity is still forming and whose life is still plagued by bullies and now a junkie mother. He gets his gay on with a childhood friend Kevin, and later Kevin is peer pressured into attacking Chiron. That becomes a turning point for Chiron's character and propels the story into the third and final act. So, years later, Chiron, or Black, as indicated by the title card, is now thugged out and muscled up as fuck, sporting a fake metallic grill and dealing drugs. His mother's now in rehab, attempting to redeem herself and redefine her life. Late one night, he gets a call from Kevin, who is out of prison and working at a diner. Kevin extends an invitation for Black to come check him out if he's ever in town. So one night, he does. He goes to the diner, sees Kevin, and confronts his identity. This film is elegant and restrained, which I appreciate as a person who cannot stand sex scenes in films. The acting is awesome and deserving of accolades. The story is unique, and the movement of the sequences feel like symphonic movements, rife with brilliant sonatas. But it's the symphony as a whole that falls short for me. Taken in its entirety, this movie is so subtle and lacking in convention and cliche that it ends up being boring, which is basically tantamount to, this movie is so good, it sucks. I know. Because I'm a gorehound, I would have loved more violent overtures and more gratuity in the depiction of the setting and Chiron's villains. The only violence comes at the turning point of the second act, where after being physically assaulted by bullies, he storms into class, grabs a chair, and smashes it on a motherfucker. So I give Moonlight props for choosing not to show the obvious, because we've seen it in Boys in the Hood and all the copycat gangster flicks of the 90s. This wasn't a message film, nor was it a blatant capitalization of counterculture, so props, homies. Well, fuck. A little violent melodrama is what the audience needs sometimes. So, bottom line, I didn't think this was deserving of Best Picture, or even a nod, just based on the much better films I saw in 2016. They're not even afforded an Oscar acknowledgement. Captain Fantastic, for one. I do recognize that Moonlight is an important film, and I can see why a lot of people love it. This film has my respect and praise, but it's not for me, and I wouldn't recommend it. So for that reason, I'm giving it a /tag no watch CC. P.S. Emma Stone, for Best Actress Oscar winner, you're totally transparent at the after-show interviews where you vehemently claim to love Moonlight. You might want to work on that. Peace.
That won Best Picture. They should have given it to Don't Breathe.
That wasn't nominated, besides Don't Breathe sucked. Ish. No, that's the one I liked. Which one didn't I like? The
Lights
dark.
Out.
Lights Out, yeah.
I mean, Don't Breathe should have been nominated.
For something, at least.
Shut the fuck up. What you got for Shorty Straw, Ono?
It's a short film called A Chess Player.
What's it about?
Uh,
A chess player?
Are we doing this? Listen to the segment, man.
If I weren't happy with what's going on in my life right now, I'd tear your fucking eyeballs out.
No, you wouldn't.
Don't test me, fucker. The Shorty Straw.
Alright, for this shortest straw, I have 2014's A Chess Player, a nice drama piece written and directed by Shay Sizemore. It is an unheralded film and a stacked through production. It has a pretty big cast, lots of minor roles though, but the key players include Chip White, Brian Gudros, Andrew Walters, and George Perolas, and Tony Booker. The story is focused on Tony Summerall, played by Chip White, and a younger Tony, played by Andrew Walters. And this character is like a modern day Bobby Fischer, child prodigy, chess player, a love for the game that's unique and personal. But he's older than, I'd say, Josh Waitzkin. And who knows if they ever played against each other. Anyway, but Tony comes from a broken home. He was abused by his father. Tony has father issues, and it had a very severe effect on his life and throughout adulthood until the end. And by the end, I mean the movie, or the short film. It was one of those relationships where the father wanted his son to be something he wasn't. The father, Claude Summerall, played by Brian Gudros, and older Claude, played by Herbert White. He was a coach for what looked like a high school football team, and he had Tony play lots of sports as a child: baseball, track, and even football. And he just couldn't do it. He was terrible at it. And the sad thing is, Tony wanted to be those things, an athlete, what his father wanted him to be. But his talent laid somewhere else, and it was in chess. So now Tony meets an adult chess player who becomes his mentor, L. Sanford, played by Tony Booker. He teaches him everything, becomes his friend, and is sort of a father figure, but he passes away later in the short. So as the story goes along, Tony's dad gets terminated from coaching, and I guess he takes out his frustration on Tony. So he ends up running away from home and doesn't see his father ever again, until the end. And I think Moms was out of the picture a while ago already. So now Tony grows up, turns pro for chess playing, and plays everyone from the best to beating the best, and pretty much anyone who wanted to play with him. This goes on for a while until Tony is no longer pro, and he doesn't really retire, but now he's just playing for fun. Now the interesting thing is that this is all Tony has, chess. He's surrounded in his apartment by all the trophies he's acquired and won in his life, and he continues to watch past interviews on himself, at bedtime, and he kind of walks around the city with a chessboard and pieces, I guess playing people on the side. Clearly he's he looks depressed, and there's something missing in his life. So one night at, I guess what it would be, some kind of local bar or local hangout space, Tony's in the middle of a match, and he loses the game, and this is like his first loss ever. In the 40 or so years of his life, he lost for the first time. And this hurts him because he had the title of best chess player in the world, and now he just lost to a nobody. And I say nobody because the guy he lost to isn't a pro player. He's just some Joe Schmo who has a career in some other non-chess field, is married and a homeowner. Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off too if this nobody beat me at something I spent my entire life doing. But it happens, and it sucks. So Tony is furious deep down. Now he wants a rematch and maybe blood, but he visits the guy at his home in the middle of the night, but is turned away. Later, Tony goes back to the hangout spot to play this dude, but this guy won't play him again. I don't understand why people are so hesitant at rematches. I mean, if you've beaten someone before, you can sure beat them again. Don't be scared. So this guy declines Tony. Now there's this altercation and Tony gets kicked out of the place like a drunkard getting 86 from a local bar. But it's just chess. I mean, come on. I've seen worse during a Monopoly game. People get a little too competitive sometimes. So what seems like an act of violence, but I mean, he's probably just thoughtless. But Tony picks up a brick and throws it at the player. Now, Tony couldn't play baseball because he was a shitty pitcher. He'd be throwing the ball over the catcher all the time. A real shit player. Now, as an adult, I mean, he's a really shit brick thrower because the brick goes over the guy's head and hits a woman in the face. And I mean, he'd probably been working at it, throughout his life, throwing shit. But instead of hitting the guy, he hits the woman. And I guess it's backed by all this frustration and anger that the brick kills the woman on impact. And now he's being charged with murder. Murder? I mean, I guess Tony was depressed and he didn't want to fight it. So, I mean, he didn't want to get the charges brought down to manslaughter. Oh, well. Now, during this time in prison, he's playing guards from time to time. The film ends with a surprise visit from a much older man. Guess who? His father. And he came with a mini chessboard, and now Tony is going to teach Dad how to play chess. That's the end of the short. So the chess player it's really interesting story about family, friends, the pursuit of happiness or contentment, and the everyday struggle of life, all symbolized by a simple game of chess. Now, what I got from this film, I mean, it can get deep. We all start off as pawns in life, and as we move forward, and only forward, we work to achieve the status of a knight, a bishop, queen, or even a king. And when we finally do, it can be taken away from us in a split second from a faulty, uncalculated move, and then checkmate. But it's not game over. In this story of Tony and his father, well, at least they can set the pieces up again, make a few adjustments, and move forward to working towards a better and more favorable outcome. The Chess Player was written and directed by Shay Sizemore. It's got a Facebook page, and the trailer is available on Sizemore's Vimeo. But I don't know where else to get the full short and where it's available. But if you do have access to it, check it out. You'll watch CC.
I need to get rid of this segment.
Come on, it wasn't that bad.
Thank God these are quick. Hey, Schrody, it's your segment.
We're gritty. How y'all gonna fuck this up?
Well, we had a bit of fun on this one with the current rise and trend of live-action remakes in Hollywood. We compiled a list of our own Dreamcast for a potential Attack on Titan remake.
Attack on Titan. We both approach it differently, as you'll see. But surprisingly, you got the same picks for certain characters, which I was super surprised. But then, probably not, because they seemed like to fit the bill.
Right.
Didn't they already make a live action Attack on Titan?
Yeah, 2 of them, but it was a Japanese movie and it fucking shitty budget, and everybody was Asian. We need some white people in there to diverse it up a bit. And a black. We need a black.
This is true.
Sounds like it'll be a shitfest. And this Dreamcast of yours will be equally shitty too. Schrody's ladder.
All right. Today we'll be talking about our own personal Dreamcasts on an American live action version based on the manga Attack on Titan. If you're not familiar with that, it's based on the manga and it turned into a cartoon series, 2 seasons. And it's basically set, I want to say in the future,
In a post-apocalyptic future.
very post-apocalyptic. They're back in like the old ages.
Like fucking
no electricity,
agrarian and shit, yeah.
Yeah, and Asians are a rare race.
Everyone else is German.
Yeah, German, some kind of white, but it's a world set in where we kind of block ourselves into, separating us from these beings called Titans, which they go by meters. So the colossal Titan, the average Titan would be what, maybe
15 meters, I think.
15 meters.
19 to 15 meters, I think.
Yeah.
What is that in feet?
It's 3.1 feet per meter.
So 18 to what the fuck is 3 times 45 feet? Holy fuck.
So it's focused on 3 characters, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, who are kids, and the colossal Titan appeared and kind of they had an attack for like after 100 years of no attacks.
Of not seeing the Titans.
Yeah, they're attacked, and now so they gotta prep these more soldiers, or they grow up wanting to join the Survey Corps, which is the
most
branch.
elite and most dangerous.
Actually, the most elite is the military police.
They say that.
They say that, but
because only the top slot from every grad class gets to apply, right?
Gets to choose, and they get to go to military police if they want. But usually you go there, and then they'd say, even though you're the top, they're the laziest, because nothing happens.
Nothing happens at the center, yeah. But because the king is such a coward, he only wants the best to surround him.
Yeah.
And everybody else can get thrown to the dogs. Like the Survey Corps, they do not have a long life expectancy.
No, those are the ones.
But they
go
do
outside.
get to use the OMD or the ODMs.
I think everyone's equipped with them.
Oh, even
the garrison, I think. But those are
the garrison is the bitchest ones. They guard the wall.
They guard the wall. They make repairs. And
the Survey Corps is the only one who leaves the walls
Yeah.
to go out there and hunt and try and bring back a specimen.
You would think they would be the elite, but
they are the elite.
But they're the ballsiest ones, I would say, because then they're going outside the wall. If you weren't top class, then you go in garrison. Like, okay, I'm gonna stay inside, and you're just basically crowd control, almost.
Basically, they're actually, I feel, the military police.
Yeah.
What they call the military police is more like a royal honor guard.
Right. You can call it that.
Or those red guys who protect the emperor.
Yeah.
If you're a Netflix subscriber, the first season of the anime is available on there. And if you are a Comixology subscriber, the first volume of the manga is available on there.
Well, think of it like Starship Troopers with swords. And
it actually is, because
devices.
they're both Nazi derivatives. We'll get into that later.
No, okay.
The live action it's pretty much all Asians because it's a Japanese movie. But yeah, majority of the characters are white. Yeah, and I believe German by their last names.
Right. The live action film was all right.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad we couldn't use modern day weaponry to destroy these Titans. The vertical maneuvering system they use seems pretty primitive we're basically flying knights, like with a K. I didn't get a
I feel
chance to
that's
see the
pretty
second.
elegant
Yeah,
for what's available.
Yeah.
Like literally everything else is like.
but you
Seven
gotta be
Samurai.
like a ballerina, kind of like
You
'cause
got
doing
to
twirls.
have great equilibrium and balance.
Yes,
and
balance is key.
probably they don't hit G forces, but you need to be able to the switch of gravity and
Very acrobatic.
orientation. Yeah, you need to your brain needs to be able to handle that kind of jarring within the skull.
True.
And on top of that, you're fighting monsters.
Yeah, so you need good cardio, I would think, and good legs.
Definitely. So we picked just a handful of the characters from the anime because there are a ton of them, mostly to just be fodder for the beast. But from the handful that we selected, we chose our ideal actors to portray them in our version of the anime series. So we're kind of playing like casting directors here.
Yeah.
But I casted with budget in mind,
Oh, okay.
and
okay.
with a little politics in mind, I guess too. But
Sure. Yeah. I went primarily on looks. If you look the part and somewhat,
then you got it.
Yeah, you got it. Well, others, works they've done in the past too, kind of. But mostly on looks.
I mean, you definitely have to look good when joining the Survey Corps, and a lightweight. You can't be heavyset and flying around. You definitely can't be, which is hilarious because I had a Survey Corps backpack, which was super dope.
Oh, man.
The straps broke, so I don't wear it anymore. Anyway, it's just funny. Imagine seeing a big fat guy like me wearing a Survey Corps backpack. It's like, come on, bro. You look more like the things climbing over the wall than the dude's trying to protect it.
Oh, snap. You also need extreme cardio too, and definitely lots of leg strength.
Core,
You can't be doing chest workouts.
I mean, you could, but a lot of built dudes just get
Yeah.
picked off, right? Like,
Right. Yes. Like
8 years of training,
sorry.
30 seconds dead.
It is all legs and cardio in this world because there will be a lot of running.
And jumping around, flying around.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. Dreamcast. Go!
All right. Starting pick for Aaron Yeager.
Jaeger.
Okay, Aaron Yeager. Goes to Ezra Miller. I picked Ezra Miller. Probably the most memorable role is Perks of being a wallflower. He's also the new Flash. But see, Aaron Yeager kind of looks like he has a lot of drive to join the Survey Corps. I mean, you see that drive. Although it looks like he only mentally prepared himself because he's like Rudy for sure. Like he's that special kind of guy.
Weakling.
He is, yes.
He's goofy. I wouldn't let him carry the balls to football practice, let alone try and quarterback this shit.
And he even made the practice squad. But Aaron's got a lot of drive and ambition, and justifiably so. He's traumatized at end
as fuck
as a kid. Yeah.
So yeah, Ezra Miller actually would be my pick too. I feel like we're agreeing on this more than Sentinel 6. So we should have some bells or some whistles or something.
Oh, okay.
He has a darkness about him, like in We Need to Talk About Kevin, where he plays the depressed sociopath who shoots up his high school. But he also has a charming darkness about him as well, like in Trainwreck, where he was the funny chick, that fat funny chick's assistant or something, with the masochistic mommy issues, and he's telling her to hurt him, and she reluctantly does, but she hits him too hard, and he starts crying for his mommy. Side note, I really like Trainwreck. Thought I would hate it, didn't. Really liked it. Anyway, yeah, Ezra Miller for Aaron. Aaron is totally a Rudy. He's basically a scrub that has no business being on the elite corps, but seeing that his mom was eaten alive by a Titan in front of him super fucked him up. So he had a big time score to settle.
Damn, yeah. Originally, I had Dylan O'Brien.
I like him too. Is that the guy from Maze Runner?
Yeah.
I like him too,
but
not as much as Ezra Miller though.
Yeah.
I feel that brand conflict could get in the way of our casting him.
It could, and it's just that whole series of teen books gone live action, Maze Runner, Divergent.
Oh, I meant more so
Hunger.
with Ezra Miller.
Oh, okay.
Like the DCEU is in so much trouble already. Do they want to lend one of its future stars out to this Japanese thing? Yeah. I don't know. But yeah,
They could bank.
I want to stay away from those teen stuffs, but I have a couple of them on my list too, and I know every pick of yours almost is.
All right, for Armin Arlert, little blonde kid, childhood friend of both Aaron and Mikasa, I give that part to Tom Felton. You probably know him most as Malfoy from Harry Potter series and Dodge Landon from Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, he's the one that said, damn dirty. Hey. Armin is less aggressive than some of Felton's past characters, so it might be nice to see him do something different. But don't give him that hair, please. Don't.
I like your faith in him, and I like to see actors stretch, but I really feel he's the wrong guy. One, he's a little too old, and he's way too dark.
He's not that old.
He's also not endearing and lovable. For Armin, you really like him, and you want him to be safe and protected like a puppy. Felton's a little like, fuck him, feed him to the Titans. For my pick, I'd have to go with Blake Cooper. He's most notably the fat kid Chuck from The Maze Runner. I know Armin isn't fat, but I feel a chubby little kid having to face these monsters would make me tense as fuck. You don't want him to die, but a fat kid versus a giant? Also, he died in The Maze Runner, so he has death just written all over him.
I know.
So, come on, Twitter. You did it once for him. Do it again. Blake Cooper for Armin.
Oh, I know. I actually watched The Maze Runner last night.
What'd you think?
It was on TV. Like, well, I've seen it before, but it was just,
Not bad, right? For what it is. I expected to hate it.
It's okay. It was better than the Divergent series. Yeah.
Oh, duh.
All right. Well, up next, drum roll,
Mikasa Ackerman.
So,
Hey, you know what Ackerman means? It means plower of the field.
really?
Acker is from the word acre in the German or Old English.
Oh, that's her dad's side then, right?
Yeah, gotta be. You know her last name is like fucking Hakatobi or
Well, we see her parents. That's why, right?
Nakatori.
So we know that Mikasa's mom is Asian, but they don't really point it out, ethnic background, just Asian. And her dad is Caucasian. But what exactly? No clue. So I kind of have a tie
It's
for this
totally
one.
German. Anyway,
I think I can point out, a Hapa person, majority of the time, Hapa meaning half white, half Asian. And they're usually white looking, but they're mixed. There's something in there. It's either the hair, skin complexion, or if they tan well.
that wasn't there before.
Yeah. Or you can just ask what their last name is, and that usually gives it away. So from Mikasa Ackerman, my picks, I got a tie. Goes to Jessica Henwick of Iron Fist fame. Y'all know Iron Fist, right? The best show on
Game
TV
of
right
Thrones.
now. The other pick I have is her name's Ayami Misaki. She's a Japanese actress model. She actually was in the live action Attack on Titan.
The Japanese version.
Yeah. So she was the one that was the single mother actually in the Survey Corps who was actually looking for
baby dad.
baby daddy for Aaron. She gave herself to Aaron
Murked.
and then got killed like right after. So it was such a turn off.
So Asian.
Yeah.
That is so Asian.
So I think to make up for that, she should be Mikasa. But either Henwick too would work. So for Hoffa characters, it's I don't know what works. If they look more Asian and you say they're part white, or if they look more white and you say they're part Asian. Like it didn't work for Emma Stone and Aloha.
Really?
Yeah.
She could pass. She could pass the part Hawaiian. I don't know what all the Asians is crying about. We get choke Hoppa fucking people look
Have you
exactly
seen a
like
Hoppa
Emma Stone.
person? I don't think these people have ever seen a Hoppa person.
Well, you describe Hoppa as half white, half Asian. It
Yeah.
just means a half breed.
half
Like Hoppa's half, yeah, halfsies.
halfsies.
Oh, racist. I totally bought Emma Stone as Ewan and part Hawaiian.
She could be.
Yeah, I don't know about Miyame, Hakame, whatever, but
Ayami Misaki.
yeah. The other chick, Henwick, please don't judge her by that piece of Comic-Con puke iron shit. She's a classically trained British actress, and I think she's awesome and would do an awesome job as Mikasa. Also, there's no martial arts in Attack on Titan, so we would not have to see her struggling through Cloyd choreography. Also, she's Singaporean and super beautiful. She deserves better than a C-team superhero. But I would have to give the role to actress Chloe Bennett. Chloe goddamn Bennett. Best known for her reoccurring role in Nashville, and of course, the unnecessary TV travesty Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is one of the rare examples of the Asian gene overwhelmed by the weak white gene, because she looks hella Aryan. Definitely could pass for an Ackerman. But she is in fact part Chinese, so hopefully that stifles the whole whitewashing bullshit. Hashtag Asian cries matter. And I like, and like Henwick, Bennett has also portrayed kick-ass, badass leading ladies, so I think she'd be a great fit. Mikasa is basically a killing machine who's carrying a torch for Eren and would need an actress who can embody violence and vulnerability simultaneously.
Nice. I haven't seen much of Agents But
It gets shitty just like most shows, but it starts strong.
all right, for our next character, we have Sasha
Bro.
Brow, the one soldier who keeps eating. So I'll give that spot to Sophia Black Delia. She was in Almanac, Viral, and is currently on the Mix series. Like she's tall, and I think she would.
She gotta pack on some weight though. She's a little too
skinny.
svelte,
But
yeah.
see, I think a lot of the Survey Corps are tall, skinny people.
Yeah, but Sasha was like she was
she
was
was
thick.
yeah.
She was nice. She's like full. She's like not full blown voluptuous, but voluptuous in a world that starves and fights monsters. So put it that way.
Yeah.
Everybody else is bones, but she got some meat.
Yeah, the one because she keeps eating. Right. But
She's nice though.
she definitely looks
for
apart.
cartoon girl, but yeah. Yeah. So Viral was not bad. The Mick is terrible. And, you know, with all the attention on not whitewashing, I think we're totally doing a disservice to the fact that we don't have any Germans on the list. I think it's important. Though it is never said, I believe the backstory to the Titans is that this happens in a world where Germany won World War II, like in Man in the High Castle. Only this is much, much more in the future, after the stupid Nazis' experiments gave birth to their master race, which is the Titans. And the fact that there are a few Japanese and Jap hybrids, most of the families and characters are German. It speaks to this fact. Also, the technology of the ODM, or omnidirectional mobility, feels like Nazi engineering with a hint of Japanese creativity. Trouble is, I don't know of any young German actresses. So, fuck it. Sophia Black Delia works for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up is Rainer. He's kind of a taller, heavier set dude. And when I mean heavier set, like pound for pound, he's like built in tone. So
Like
not
a
fat.
middleweight.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a middleweight, almost a lightweight kind of fighter. I'll give this one to Miles Teller. You know, forget about the Divergent series. He's a much better fit in this one. And yeah, he can be built. Miles Teller.
I like Miles Teller in anything, really. He even made fake Hunger Games semi-watchable. He's the only actor from the recent YT sagas that I would cast. Also, fuck Theo James. Thanks for ruining Underworld, bitch. Shit, I just realized I casted that fat kid from The Maze Runner.
Yes, you did.
Oh, well. I guess Attack on Titan will be a piece of shit PG-13 teeny bopper social media popcorn saga. Oh no, do we even want to cast this movie?
Yes, because there needs to be an American version of this movie.
Will it be better than the Japanese, though?
It will be way better than
Because right now, it's not sounding good, dude.
No, man. Okay. All right. So next is Annie Leonhardt. And you know her. She graduated top of the class, chose to be in the military police, and spoiler alert, is a Titan.
She's a Titan.
Yeah. This spot goes to...
Actually, she knows how to control it.
Yes, yeah. So that's what makes it different. So there is conspiracy behind all this Titan nonsense. But this spot goes to Ivana Lynch of Harry Potter fame. She pretty much looks exactly like this character. Like, just give her that fold of her, bangs over the eye, and her hair like that, and
Mid-2000s
kind of a condescending attitude, and perfecto. We got her. But don't give her an English accent or British accent.
Sabine Wrench.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ridiculous.
You know, we are part of the problem. We took something beautiful and we made it a horror. Harry Potter, fake Hunger Games, Maze Runner. Ugh.
So Malfoy? Come on.
Okay, for this, I want a real actress. I cast Saoirse Ronan as Annie Leonhardt. Ronan was in that 2013 teeny bullshit The Host, but you gotta eat, I guess.
Her?
If you don't know her by name, maybe you know her credits. Brooklyn, from which she got an Oscar nod for Best Actress, Atonement, Hannah, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Byzantium, and The Lovely Bones. Actually, forget I brought up The Lovely Bones. So yeah, Saoirse Ronan as Annie, the antagonist. Annie is one of the more interesting characters in this story, and I think it's fitting to have someone with heavy dramatic chops.
Yeah, because then it probably get pretty dramatic once everyone finds out who she really is.
They don't touch on her much, though, in season 1 until, like, the last couple of eps when you realize there's something off.
All right, that was the JV squad, so to speak. Now we got varsity, but just 3 characters. Hans Zoe, Captain Levi, and Erwin Smith, dude in charge, the one who makes all the hard decisions. First up, though, I want to talk about Zoe, the kind of science officer who wants to study Titan anatomy. This one goes to Camilla Bell. When the Stranger Calls push fame. This character is kind of plucky, nerdy mannerisms, but she can be serious if she wants to throw down. And Camilla, she got that look. Like, it's her, I think it's her hair and her eyebrows. Kind of almost like Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
Very, just like
Jennifer
dark
Connelly
features.
got some Asian.
Yeah, she got to be
some
mixed.
Latina or something, yeah. Anyway, I like Camilla Bell. I loved her in this kind of sick movie, The Quiet, where she plays a mute girl opposite of X2's Iceman, and she witnesses her uncle molesting her cousin but can't tell anyone. She's actually Portuguese and Brazilian and speaks fluent Portuguese. Obrigado, Ono. Nice pick. I think she'd be excellent in Zoe.
Obrigado. All right, another badass character, Captain Levi. Like, this guy, took over Attack on Titan when he came out. And, you want him and Mikasa to, team up. Just because they'll be, the perfect pair. But this guy is so badass, it has to go to Nicholas Hoult. Loved him in Mad Max, and loved him as Hank McCoy, the Beast.
I love Nicholas Hoult. Finally, we've added some actors to this shit.
Yes. He's got that range, for sure.
He does. About a Boy. Anybody seen that?
All right, so leading varsity team, first stringer, Erwin Smith. I have to give this one to
Why are you laughing?
James.
Oh!
Theo James.
Oh,
Although the Virgin series was total crap, Theo James played a cool part, and also in the Underworld movies. I thought so, and he looks like a dude you'd follow into battle and take orders from.
Okay, you follow him into battle / guaranteed death. Just when I thought we were getting somewhere. Fuck Theo James in anything serious or actiony, like real action. I'd rather have that dude that played Finn in the actual Hunger Games and Me Before You as Erwin Smith. He's a much better actor with a deeper and darker range. Theo James is about as deep as a tortilla. He's basically less cool guy that plays Thor. My pick was actually, well, it's kind of radical, I guess, because he's a black dude, but fuck, this movie is just getting so white. I got Michael B. Jordan of Creed and Fruitvale Station. This dude is the new Denzel, I'm telling you. Although I doubt a studio would cast him and Miles Teller in a big budget comic adaptation after the epic Craptastic 4 fail, but he looks like an Erwin Smith, and Erwin Smith sounds like a pro baller. Here's your Titanville Survey Corps, led by Heisman winner and 5-time All-Pro quarterback Erwin Smith. But if I had to choose a white guy or a white-looking guy, I'd go with Blake Jenner from The Edge of 17. It's all about dark vulnerability and depth. I keep saying, and this guy has it. Plus, he doesn't have much of a body of work, so we could get him for cheap. With what we spent on the above-the-line talent alone, this movie is getting pricey as shit. We'll have all these recognizable faces, but shitty CGI and production value.
So who we're gonna spend on the director? Well, no, we went.
I was looking into that when I got to this part. I was like, who can we get that's cheap but good?
All the money went to this talent right here. This talented cast.
We cannot do this for no $100 million. There's got to be in the $45 to $50 million range for it to make a profit or for it to get greenlit by the studio. But anyways, you know what? Okay. Anybody but Theo James, and I'm good. Anybody but Theo James.
Let's make this Dreamcast happen, Hollywood. And it's not whitewashing because these characters...
They are white.
They are all white.
They're just done by Japanese, but they are white.
They are.
German. They are the master race. The Titans.
Yeah. But, yeah, it'll be
so
interesting to see.
run down the list that we are going to submit to our bosses at the studio.
Okay, at the studio. Head studio exit.
Now we're fired.
Aaron Yeager, Ezra Miller, Armin Arlett, Tom Felton, or Blake Cooper.
I love how your voice dipped on Blake Cooper. Is that how you present it to the boss? Tom Felton or Blake Cooper.
Mikasa Ackerman. We got Jessica Henwick, Ayami Misaki, or Chloe Bennett. Sasha Bros, the girls who keeps eating potatoes. Sophia Black Delia.
Are you gonna eat that?
Yes. Rayner. We got Miles Teller. You know, I'm sure if we get him a 2-movie deal, he'll do it for cheaper.
Yeah, he does this one, then he gets to do some art movie about boxing or drums.
Annie Leonhardt, Ivana Lynch, or
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan. Nice. Okay, Hanzo, we both agreed. We'd like Camila Bell, please.
We would. Please, Camila Bell.
Captain Levi, we're gonna have to spend a little bit more on this one. He's got the experience, but he's got the chops. Nicholas Hoult.
He does got the chops, and he's got a name. It's up there.
It is.
I mean, we're looking between 3 and 5 million, but I think it's worth the expenditure.
Depending on the director, for Erwin Smith, we can go Theo James or Michael B. Jordan, Blake Jenner.
If the director even entertains Theo James, he's the wrong guy for the project. He needs to go back to, I don't know what the fuck, but
he was in all Divergent movies and 2 Underworld movies.
The shittiest 2. And that's considering that they made Rise of the Lycans, so come on.
Oh, right, it's true.
They should have stopped at fucking, what's the one where they bring in Marcus?
Evolution.
Yeah.
They should have, because she's just a super being. Anyway, that is his Schrody's.
That is the...
Thank you. So.
Oh, okay. They play us like 30 seconds.
I think that's the one. Yeah. So.
Fuck. It'll be the Hunger Games meets Jack and the fucking Beanstalk. With this cast, throw in some sparkling vampires while you're at it. Fuck.
I want Darren Aronofsky to direct.
Seriously?
So turns out all these Titans are hallucinations.
He'll weird it up.
Brought upon the people from the leftover radiation after a nuclear war ended. You know, civilization hundreds of years ago.
And then everybody will kill themselves at the end.
They're like, whoa, dude.
I like Aronofsky, but I think he's a little too indie for what we're going to be spending on this on this fucking movie.
Don't! He will ruin this franchise. Come on, let's end this fucking show. I got a dinner date to attend to later.
With Texas. Where are you guys going?
We're doing Mexican tonight.
Any reason?
She says she's craving burritos. Like those extra wet burritos soaked in the sauce. Tasty shit. I want tacos. But I also don't want driving shit. What's on this top 6, bitches?
Live action Disney flicks, no animated ones.
No anime. Maybe some of these live action films need to be remade into animated films.
Don't go there. The Seno 6.
The box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
Alright, for this Seno 6, we are going to do top 6 live action Disney movies. Yeah, because they're just as good as the animated stuff. A lot of them. But we're not getting into musicals or anything. Just some of the classics to come out. So remember, if you hear this, our picks are different.
And if you hear this, our picks are the same.
Top 6 live action Disney. Go!
The first one I have is D3, The Mighty Ducks.
Nice.
The last of the trilogy. We see these, hockey team that we grew up with finally going into high school. But the difference now is a new coach. So a new whole approach to playing hockey.
They don't do things the duck way.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's hard for Charlie to
It is hard.
get his mind around.
And so, but Charlie was, I guess, all offense. And now Coach Riley is trying to teach them defense. And so it's a little tricky for him, I guess. And then we have like Adam Banks going to varsity. And
Best player on their team.
best player of the team, yeah. He's the best player, not the best leader though. So that's why all that credit goes to Charlie. You know, from the previous film, he gave up his spot on the ice to Adam because he was all better after that incident with the Iceland players. But in this one, Charlie learns now that more about leadership, and it's not about their old ways anymore, and it's learning how to adapt to new trials in life. It's actually more of a life lesson for these kids, because now he wants to skip school, and the other kids can't afford to do that because they're on scholarships. But the good thing, the I guess the main showdown in this movie is when the junior varsity and varsity teams play against each other, and that's crazy because if you do that in regular high schools,
Yeah, the JV of course would get swept.
yes, but this is a private school with a with a good hockey program, so it's not like they're getting fresh people on the JV team. These are experienced players, and of course they're Olympian gold medalists, junior Olympian gold medalists. But that was the good, part that you look forward to is the JV varsity showdown. This one, and yeah, and it was good. They're all teens now, so high schoolers. But yeah, Mighty Ducks D3 number 6.
Yeah, so for number 6, I have Operation Dumbo Drop, a movie that I've seen a million times, and I still kind of like, even though it's just about getting an elephant up to a mountain village in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. But I like the elephant's name is Botat.
Oh, okay.
It's funny, Botat. But, a group of Green Berets enlist a few other motley crew military guys, one of which is Dougie Doug, who's supposed to go home and does not want to be pulled on this adventure. But it's kind of funny, and I like Special Forces anything, and this is kind of a cute movie. It has Dennis Leary as the radio communication hustler guy, and he's spot on at it, and it's a dope movie. Operation Dumbo Drop. Number
What
6.
was Ray Liotta's part?
He was the replacing Special Forces or Green Beret officer who was supposed to replace Danny Glover. And Danny Glover ends up getting stuck on this mission because on Ray Liotta's first day, the fucking elephant gets murdered by a bunch of VC. So now they need to journey to find another elephant to replace the sacred elephant that was murdered. And that's where Botat comes into place.
Damn. All right. Number 5, I have Mighty Ducks, the first one.
What the fuck? You was really a Mighty Duck
I was really
kid,
into
huh?
it. Yes, the first
in
one.
Hawaii,
Yeah.
where the only place where you can play hockey is Ice Palace.
Well, that's why we got rollerblades. You never went into that phase with street hockey?
No, I was pretty fat for one, and two, rollerblades just always seem a little bit gay, especially with Airborne, the movie.
That was the movie, though.
Oh, that did it for you.
Oh my god.
We had different childhood growing ups then. Oh, that was not the thing.
But Mighty Ducks, yeah. So you got this underdog team, District 5. Emilio Estevez comes in.
Good movie, though. It's my favorite
Yeah.
of the trilogy of it. if
Gordon
that
Bombay is
thing,
he gets pulled over for DUI. He's a lawyer. And it turns out he has a past in hockey.
He played for the Hawks?
He did. He was a Hawk, yeah.
He was a Hawk.
And he was the most talented player. He's one of those players. It's all talent. He was born to play hockey. Cause then, I look at, Gordon Bombay. It's does he work out? Do hockey players work out?
They do.
I'm like, come on.
He doesn't look like a
Yeah.
real hockey player.
But he's a lawyer. He's a big shot lawyer though, and so he's got to take care of these kids now. As community service. But this one was one of the earlier films. I think it was '93. It came out, and blast off for rollerblades and hockey. Characters like Charlie Conway. Oh yeah, Emilio Estevez trying to date his mom.
Did he get together with the mom, in the sequels and stuff?
She doesn't. I don't think she's in the second one.
So then, no.
But the third one, she's there, dropping off Charlie.
And is her and Gordon?
No. That subplot was written out.
Yeah, that was a weird one. She wasn't at the leading lady level.
Yeah. But then he's just he's a coach that's trying to get to know the kids.
Right.
And then single mom home. It's
A young, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Number 5.
Yeah.
I got Disney's The Kid with Bruce Willis.
Always wanted to watch that.
It's actually really good.
So the kid is Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah. For some magical reason, this little version of himself comes back into his life as an adult and is just totally disgusted and disappointed with what he's become. He's some hotshot agent or attorney of clients, totally not realizing his dream of being a pilot and owning a dog. He doesn't even own a dog. So like at one point the little fat kid says like, "Oh my God, I'm old. I'm not a pilot and I don't have a dog. I grow up to be a loser." Which is basically what that is. Like, how can you not have a dog? Losers. Disney's the kid. My number 5.
Number 4. Three Musketeers. One with Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt, and Chris O'Donnell, and Kim Basinger as
Was she?
the
The
lady. No, the one with the mark. Kiefer Sutherland's like old flame, but she turned criminal, and it got dark when she like killed herself.
I'm thinking I totally forgot this movie.
Yeah, that was her.
Was there a soundtrack song to this? Like a big...
It was Bryan Adams, but it didn't take off like
Everything I do.
that one did. Yeah.
The best Three Musketeer movie is Man in the Iron Mask.
Yes, it is. No, I'm sorry. It's not Rebecca. It's not Kim Basinger. It's Rebecca
De Mornay.
Yeah.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah, she was the Countess de Winter. But yeah, it got dark when she killed herself, and then like
I don't remember that. Yeah.
But in this version, I thought it was action packed. I mean,
it was action packed.
It was an adventure.
My number 4, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Did you like that? Did you see that one?
Yeah, that one's good. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Gemma Arterton.
Yeah. That's what
She's
I was
the
gonna say.
bomb.
She's super the bomb, and I like the like rewind ending and shit. I also love this game. Like that was my first. Like I got into PlayStation 3 late, and that was the first game I bought. And
you didn't play the SNES version?
No. I never really even heard of it. Like there was a big break for me between PlayStation 1 and like 3 when I got back into gaming.
Okay, number 3. Okay. I got D2, the Mighty Ducks. The whole trilogy is on this one. This one was the best one of the 3. D2.
You thought so?
I thought so, yeah. Just because,
I definitely thought it was more epic than 3rd, but...
I mean, because this time now it's not over district championships.
We're talking at the world stage.
Yeah, this is Olympics, Junior Olympics. And they're picking a Team USA. And so they went to... this is a Minnesota group of kids, right? They're from Minnesota. Yeah. And
they get the cowboy from Austin.
Yes, I really love the because now it's Olympic team, so we got other kids from around the world.
And they got a girl too, yeah.
Yeah, Julie the cat, Goldstein or something, but she's the goalie. Yeah, like why have 2 goalies if we already have one? But then she's the one that saved the winning shot. You know,
you always need a backup.
Yeah.
And with someone as fat as Goldberg, you know he's gonna get diabetes.
But and then she took the start on him in D3.
I would too.
Yeah, but
she's bigger, stronger.
I would say bigger, but she's more talented.
She's more adept. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's hard to get the starting goalie spot, especially if you got more than one person going for it. And then you have the figure skater, and then Luis. He was really fast, but he doesn't know how to stop.
Was he also Benny the Jet in
Yeah, that's Benny the Jet.
That's him, right?
Yeah, and then the cowboy guy, and Bash Brothers, Portman. There's a term for his position. Like they're purely there to like.
Oh yeah, they're goons. They're enforcers.
Enforcers, right? Yeah. They call them enforcers, right?
I don't even like hockey, but I
They're
know
like,
that. Yeah.
How old is he? Is he even like he looks like the older kid, but like but
19.
And this is where
sophomore.
Like Bombay, we see him going out the minor.
Riley and shit, yeah.
Yeah, well, like we see it's almost like a direct sequel because we see him playing in the minor leagues and then he gets like hurt as a career-ending injury, pretty much. But and he's going up against Iceland this time, and like he becomes like not like a dickhead coach. But like he's so into winning that he forgets to have fun first, right? It's all about having fun, and like going to practice right after a game Like I remember, like that's so unheard of. Like, who is this asshole? Like, people gotta sprint after a game, especially if you're working the game. If you're a starter,
Right,
if you're
right.
just on the bench, then you should be good. But then, I mean, if you're standing around,
But it
all
didn't even
day-
seem like they were that deep in the, like in their bench, like, you know, their depth.
oh yeah,
chart
they
was, like-
rotating players
yeah.
all the time. So, I mean, I guess with hockey, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So
how
I mean,
coaching goes
well, I'm
with
just
that
saying, like, it just felt like it would be murder all around
one.
for everyone on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like the third one. Either that, or by the time the third one came out, I just didn't give a fuck about the Mighty Ducks. Apparently, that didn't happen to you, but.
Come on, it's a good trilogy.
The number 2 was great. I still like the first one the best, but number 2, yeah, it really set the stages, you know, and then it was hard to watch number 3, like, take it down a step, even though this private school is, like, claiming that they're better than the Icelanders. Come on. Mine is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like, I didn't get into that at all. Like, I missed out. Like, I missed it.
The first one?
Yeah. Like, after all the
Black
hype,
Pearl?
and then I couldn't get into it. Yeah.
Oh, it was great, dude. I even like number 2. I liken number 2 to an Empire kind of deal. Strikes Back. Pirates of the Caribbean Strike Back. Although it's about Davy Jones and his locker, or Dead Man's chest, or Dead Man's face, or some shit.
And I'd see references of that, like, all over, like, in Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when people talk about it, I had no idea. I was like, who's Davy Jones?
So I really loved that one. I hated the third.
Oh,
And the fourth was just like, and am I going to watch this fifth one? Probably. Will I love it? Who knows?
all right. Number 2,
Number 2.
Remember the Titans. It's probably the best.
Is that not on my list? Fuck, it's not. I feel like it was on another list, but
I think
I love
sports
it.
movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, like Denzel brings this team to an undefeated record, and he has to, otherwise they'll just cut him.
They'll just cut him, yeah.
Yeah,
Because he's a
But-
black coach in Southern.
and it's I would say typical fairy tale story of like a high school team, like key players going down, going into accidents. If you didn't like it, then well, you can just
Yeah,
go
what's
watch
not?
Varsity Blues, and
Varsity Blues was actually really great, too.
that was a really good one too. But see, like Vanderbeek didn't care about sports as much as like the other guys.
Well, Vanderbeek's Vanderbeek. He's
Yeah.
never going to be at the level like Ryan Gosling and Denzel.
Oh.
For number 2, I have the remake of The Parent Trap by Nancy Myers.
Is that Lindsay Lohan?
It is before she got into being like a slut.
Oh.
She was so adorable. She really was magic, you know. Too bad she sucks now. But that was really a great remake. In fact, it was better than the original, I thought, with Haley What's-Her-Face from Pollyanna. But yeah, I mean, Nancy Myers is dope.
I prefer that It Takes Two.
What?
So those are real twins.
Oh.
Playing music from Chopin.
Chopin?
Yeah, but she didn't know that.
Oh, she calls it chopping.
Yeah.
Exactly why you should dodge that piece of shit.
All right, honorable mentions. I have Shipwrecked. It's kind of like an older. I think it was before Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis.
Oh God, directed by Remy Harlan.
This one was like one of those you had to like catch. Like it was always on random, like on TV, and when it was the bomb.
Was it?
But this kid is like he was on this boat, and obviously shipwrecked, and I think there's treasure involved. But it's a pretty good movie. Pretty good pirate movie. I'll watch this over Pirates.
Apparently. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's at your number 2 spot, so yeah.
Honorable mention number 2, Cool Runnings. Of course, I've mentioned this before,
Yeah.
but great
Vines.
soundtrack, great,
Vines.
right, great underdog movie. But they didn't come back with a medal, but they were equals.
They got the what they call that award, like
Participation trophy.
No. What's like the equivalent of the moral, like the
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, dope movie, dope soundtrack too.
Number 3, Return to Oz. I don't know if you ever watched that one. That was a lot more
Why?
darker take on Dorothy. Like, there's this one scene where there's these clowns on wheels. You ever remember that? Like, they don't have hands or feet. It's wheels.
No,
And
it sounds pretty dark though.
Yeah, and there's this area where like you can't pass, otherwise you turn into like sand. And so
Okay, maybe I need to check this out.
it's pretty dark. It's got I don't remember her name, but she was in The Craft and Waterboy.
Oh, Fairuza Balk?
Yeah,
Really?
she's Dorothy.
When did this come out?
It was like maybe like early 90s.
Oh, shit.
And this was again one of those random movies you had to catch on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I couldn't ask, "Oh, can you get the video?" It's like, "Oh, no."
TV movie type of deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for my...
Oh, actually, this was 85. Sorry.
Oh, my God, that's old, son.
Yeah, Fairuza Balk. Yeah, 85.
Well, I have The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage. I know, come on, stop hating.
And what was that other guy's name?
Oh, the kid or
Tropic
the younger
Thunder?
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay Baruchel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dope. Yeah, he's awesome. Really good one. And I also have Remember the Titans.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that should have made a number, but whatever. It's honorable mention. And finally, McFarlane UFC.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that yet? It was available streaming, but I
Yeah.
don't know about it anymore. But
No,
super
I
good.
didn't.
But a bunch of Mexican kids who do like, I want to say, is it long distance running or something up a hill? I don't know. It's a thing. Anyways,
Okay.
it's super good.
Number one.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. My number one goes to Swiss Family Robinson. One of the best adventure movies ever
I guess.
out there. Like this one, they're shipwreck as a family, and then I think the appeal in this movie was just the bomb ass tree city.
That was a
they-
bomb ass tree city.
Like-
that was
Like how did they make it? And they have that at Disney World. Like you can go walk around like an actual
nice.
tree house.
Last time I went, which was 2000, there wasn't shit there, and a lot of shit was closed down.
In this one, so they got that girl, or they think she's a boy, right? Because her hair is short, and they're always commenting on like her hands. She's like, she's never worked. Turns out she's a girl, and now all the two older brothers are trying to fight over her.
Oh, I might have to rewatch that.
And the older one gets her, of course, and then the middle child is more like he's an academic, so he's like smart one. And then the youngest brother gets to stay on the island.
The token nerd.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But he does well in life later.
Obviously.
But they're all hard workers. I mean, the Robinson family. I mean, they had to transport all their stuff from their ship onto the island. Like, how long did that take? And like before it finally just went into the ocean. And then they got to build that whole place. Like,
A long while.
a long while. They all the time in the world though. But Swiss
That's
Family
true.
Robinson's the bomb for sure.
Yeah, I might have. Do you have that on a video or anything?
No, I don't.
Fuck.
But it's ingrained in my mind.
Foot Locker. So my number one, I have 2016's The Jungle Book by Jon Favreau.
Though. Wow. New one.
Yeah, it's
number one.
it's really good. Have you seen it yet? It's
No.
been on Netflix for a bit.
I don't know.
It's super good.
Oh, okay. That's high. That's
Idris Elba
Like-
as Shere Khan.
out of all the live action Disney movies, this is number one.
Yeah, that one ranks, dude. It's just really great. I mean, the emotion, the fact that you can't really tell that everything's CG as fuck.
Yeah.
Super great. Okay, so
Yeah. Live action Disney movies. If you haven't seen
at
these
14,
movies,
check it out. 706, top 6.
see,
Ugh, really? The Mighty Ducks, all three of them?
Well, you should watch it again and learn the values of teamwork,
And you should shut your mouth, Schrody.
leadership, and compromise. It's all part of growing up as a student athlete and a reasonable and decent human being.
Are you being facetious? Because I feel like it was a facetious tone. Who cares about all of that shit? It's just a dope movies.
It is Triple Deke, beating Iceland,
And
and
we fucked Iceland up.
yeah, and playing high school hockey is different, much different.
Like we would know shit about that in Hawaii, but still. Hockey's violent as fuck. Better than basketball. Look at me, I'm 8,000 feet tall and I dunk a basketball.
Shut the fuck up. Let's close this shit so Schrody can get his eat on.
What you eating? Dick. That is the end of the episode. Tragic Kingdom. Thank you for checking it out. Be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes if you haven't already. Search for us, Cinephiles and Cenobites, or you can click the link in our Twitter profile. Do us a favor though. Please leave a review and a 5-star rating. I mean, if we suck, give us 1 star. Just give us an honest rating and tell a friend about the show. You'd be helping us a lot. So thank you. And we're on most social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, blah, 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 at cynical_mass.
Yeah, that is CINECAL_MASS. Same goes for Instagram and Facebook. We're also on YouTube under Nekko Media. Feel free to write us as well for any comments, questions, movie recommendations, any general correspondence.
Any genital correspondence.
Yes. Please forward all of that to cinephiles and cenobites@gmail.com.
Especially the genital part.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said before, I'm Mox, and stay rating Oakland, even though you're going to Las Vegas.
Stay in Vegas.
Fuck Vegas.
Once again, my name is Onofre on the tweets.
It doesn't matter what is your name. Fuck Las Vegas.
This is Ono. This is OHNO. Please check out my gaming channel, Gimme Seconds, on Twitter at Gimme Seconds. My music podcast, TakingTheLeadMedia.com, on Twitter at TTLM Podcast. Go watch movies.
This has been a Nekko Media podcast broadcasting from the Blood Cave, part of the Podden family and Movie Pod Squad. For myself, Schrodes, Mox, and Ono, keep the lights on and check under that bed, because there's only one universal truth. No lives matter. That means you.
We have candy. This is a Nekko Media podcast.